This is my Q&A. Here's the questions you guys sent in.
Everyone knows who I am. Q&A 2017.
There you go.
Jake Beissmann.
Is it out?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Get official.
First question.
Aiden Dutman, what got you into biking?
Pro Chance Brzezinski, who I am now friends with.
And how did you and your girlfriend meet?
Back in high school, she was going to art class, I was going to music class, and then we took a break, met again through Instagram, and now we're dating again.
Austin, do you know how to fix a freewheel?
No.
Dylan, best trick you ever did?
Double backflip in the foam pit and a regular backflip.
Ben Mueller, the hardest trick for you to do?
360 bar spin because I throw it my opposite way.
Caleb, what got you into BMX?
Chance and all the people at Oak Lawn that were biking.
Brad, would you ever come to my city and ride street?
Yes.
Tyler Rogers, why haven't I floated in person?
It's supposed to be flayed.
Flayed in person.
Scary trick. Makes me nervous. Hurt my ankle doing it.
Can you actually decade? Is what he says.
Yes.
And if so, would you send it up the kitchen? Would you send it up the kitchen setup?
I've tried.
And
it didn't work. Got 3/4 of the way around and bottomed out.
Would you ever consider giving yourself a flat so you don't have to do something you called out for yourself?
No, I would always do it.
Outside of a video, do you have ever seen a handrail?
Yes.
Would you rather ride a 22 TT with 18-inch wheels or an 18 TT with 22-inch wheels?
18 is 22.
Would you rather attempt to ride a bike with no spokes or no nipples?
No nipples.
Question from Lexa. Any famous BMX rider you would want to ride with if you could travel anywhere? Where would you go and who would you ride with?
I rode who if I wanted to ride with. Scotty Kramer. It's fun. And anywhere in the world would be China or Australia.
Brian Hiskies. What's the nastiest pull-up bar clip you've gotten?
I don't do pull-up bars, and I haven't recorded one yet.
Why whips before bars?
It was always easier to put my feet on than it was to take my hands off.
How did you learn to whip air before bar air?
Same thing, it was easier to put the feet on. Always missed that right foot, but learned to put it on.
Do you see yourself becoming a street rider in the near future?
Yes, I've tried, so I'd like to do both.
And if so, would you consider crank arming it?
I would definitely crank arm a rail.
Is there such a thing as too much jet fuel?
Yes, you always mix it up. You shouldn't have too much.
Would you rather... That's a stupid question. Alan Charles, how old are you?
I'm 21.
And when did you first start?
I started three and a half years ago.
And where do you want to go in BMX?
I would like to go pro.
Rich Hoppy, what are your short-term, within a year, and long-term goals looking ahead to 5 years with BMX?
Within a year, I'd like to be on Monster, do some tours, China maybe. And in 5 years, I'd like to go full pro, join a whole tour.
John Maka, why are you so awesome? Because of your mother.
Practice every day, riding, commitment.
Jordan, how did you learn backflips?
I built a sketchy little bank in the snow, which actually turned into a flare. Then I corrected it, and then so I learned backflips.
Clayton, what bike do you ride?
I ride a BMX Street Gear.
Maddie, what pushes you as a biker?
Progression. I always want to progress and just learn more and more stuff. Watch some videos, learn some of the stuff.
Danny, does injuring yourself ever psych you out?
Definitely. I tried a trick one day and I twisted my ankle and was scared to ever do it, so I don't do it anymore.
What's the one trick you would like to master?
Double backflip, because they look awesome.
What level do you see yourself competing in 2 years?
I'd like to be on pro, but I try to aim that for a year.
What rider do you look up to the most?
Definitely Scotty Kreiner, because he's back on his bike and riding almost to his full level again.
Joey Baggs, what got you into BMXing?
Chance.
Who do you look up to, your favorite riders?
Favorite riders would be Chance, Harry Main, Scotty Kreiner, and Nick Bruce.
What is your favorite trick to do and why?
Either a backflip or a tail whip, because they look cool and you could do them on anything.
A question from Chance. Favorite part on your bike?
I like my whole bike, but probably my wheels because they're jet fuel.
Odie, how did you get into BMX? Was it something you just learned naturally?
I got into BMX because I bought a bike from Walmart, and all my friends at the time were riding, so I wanted to try it. And I'd like to say I learned it naturally.
Do you ever find yourself mid-air and think, oh shit, I'm not going to make this, I'm going to bust my shit?
Yes, even on tricks that I have on dial.
Is this just a hobby or is it just something that you're passionate about?
I am very passionate about it. I try to do it every day for at least a few hours.
Who are your inspirations?
Chance, Scotty Kreiner.
Can you do other extreme sports like rollerblade or skateboard?
I can, but I'm not really good at it. I could skateboard, scooter.
One of my favorite games is Downhill Domination. Have you ever raced off-road like them?
I haven't raced, but I've ridden dirt trails.
BMX Street Gear asks, what drives you to ride?
Progression.
Where do you want your riding to go?
I would like to go pro and travel the world.
Do you scooter much, says Joel Dunzy.
I do every time I'm in Oak Lawn.
Chris Chamberlain asks, what is your favorite fakie trick?
Fakie bar or fakie whip?
Alyssa Schuler asks, why do you shave? Why did you shave?
It was time for a change, and every time I'd get sweaty, it'd get all in my beard, and it was nasty.
Jeremy Gravel asks, how did you get into biking?
Chance and watching kids do it.
And how long have you been riding?
3.5 years.
And which one's your favorite trick?
Backflip.
Aga says, would you ever consider doing tricks on a motorcycle in the future since 2 wheels is your thing?
I would try, but I don't know how to ride a motorcycle.
Step dance biker. John Kren says, have you ever counted all of your freckles?
No, but my girlfriend would love to.
Your mother asks, who is your support system?
My mother, my girlfriend, all my friends at all the different skate parks, my dad, stepdad, the rest of the fam.
Ryan Chambers asks, what are some companies that you're with, and what are some OG BMX companies?
God. Start with the OG BMX companies, Haro. I used to ride for them for a year when my contract was up, and I never re-signed. Some of my companies are Bad Grease, BMX Street Gear, Fuel, Elevated, Ethica, Ethic, Bell, Strange Life, Strange Place, Avalanche. I got a lot.
And what are some of the craziest BMX tricks?
I think the craziest ones are anyone who's really tech, who throws combos together and goes high.
Your grandpa asks, why BMX, and when did you start being serious about it?
I chose BMX because it was easier than skateboarding. It looked cool. A lot of the riders were really cool when I first met them, and I'm definitely pretty serious about it.
Brandon says, will you be my boo thing?
Yes, and my girlfriend did say I could share.
Emily says, how long do you see yourself pursuing BMX? And what is your clothing line and aspiration?
Until I die or get crippled. And I would like to start a clothing company. I don't have a name or anything, but we do have designs.
Anthony asks, what is your best trick and where did you learn it from?
Best trick would be either tail whip or any type of bar spin variation because I could always land them. And I learned them at Frankfurt.
Xavier wants to know what's your goal in BMX and what is your best trick landed?
Goal is pro. Best trick landed would be the flare.
Alejandro wants to know how much time do you practice every day?
Try to go a few hours, but it's cold, usually hour and a half.
Standard Clothing wants to know how long you've been riding.
3.5 years.
Kayla wants to know, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Hopefully not in Illinois. Would like to be in Australia.
And where do you want to be in 5 to 10 years goal-wise?
Pro, Australia, living life.
Ray wants to know if you have finger tattoos.
I do. They fucking suck. And they fade.
She asks how bad do they hurt and do they fade fast?
They don't hurt because I did them myself, and they do fade fast, so don't get them.
Hugo LaRoche wants to know who your sponsors are. We've already gone through this.
Gone through that already.
Brandon Holland wants to know, what was your scariest trick you ever did and what was going through your mind before you did it?
Scariest trick is definitely the flare. Like I said, I hurt my ankle doing it. And I tried it again and pretty much got it. And I've cracked a few frames trying it, so.
Dan wants to know what your favorite mid-ride snack is.
Taco Bell or any energy drink.
Allie wants to know what elements of BMX can you apply to your life and what parts of life can you apply to your BMX?
Dedication and passion.
And what tattoos do you have and what is your favorite?
I have a lot of tattoos. I got a skull on my chest. I got my Tom Dugan Indian. Got Jack and Sally. Got a cross for my grandma. My finger tattoos. Market, a diamond, Pac-Man, Snow White eating brain. Got my mom on the back of my neck. I got a shamrock behind my ear and leg ones, but I'm not taking my pants off. And my favorite one is either my mom one or my cross.
Jared Wido wants to know what made you start BMXing and how is the BMX scene where you're at and how many times do you ride a week?
Chance, the BMX scene where I am sucks because nobody rides anymore because they say it's cold or whatever. I don't care. And I try to bike almost every day.
G-Form wants to know what inspires you.
Other riders and just progressing.
Kevin Mulligan wants to know if you could be any animal, what would you be?
Be a fucking lion.
A fucking lion.
They own everything.
Caitlin wants to know what is the most challenging but favorite trick you've learned so far?
Backflip, because it's always some type of thing throwing you off, either the wind, the ramp, people.
Nick Bruce wants to know, what do you prefer to watch more, competitions or video edits, and why?
Competitions, because I feel like people go their hardest at competitions and they really try.
What would you like to see more from pro riders?
Showing up to the kitchen for the competitions.
Why do you ride BMX?
I ride BMX. Well, I first started because it was an escape from the relationship I was in. So I started, went to Oakland. I biked there from my house, which was a good 5-10 miles. And then just started kind of picking it up and progressing.
And Gnarly Jurgen wants to know your biggest local BMX influencer in your riding.
Oh, cool. Probably my friends, because they push me.
And where are your favorite spots to ride at?
Frankfurt Skate Park. In the kitchen.
What is your BMX setup?
Oh, God. I got fly bars, ODI grips, ODI bar ends. I got a salt stem. I got fit forks, Maxxis tire, titanium colony spokes, colony hub. Back here I got Stranger sprocket. I got Shadow chain, demolition cranks, Odyssey pedals, BMX street gear frame. Got Thai colony spokes back here. Got a Profile Mini, both laced to Odyssey hazards. I don't know what the hell this tire is. You got colony seat post, jet fuel, and I don't know what the hell my seat is.
And what's the best place to buy a BMX?
BMX street gear, or straight from the dealer itself.
And what's the hardest trick you ever did?
Backflip.
And your final question, what's the worst injury you've ever had and why?
Worst injury. I've got a few. One was when I almost ripped my nipple off at the kitchen. I slipped my chin open twice from biking. Sprayed my arm. Definitely my hand. Split it open down to the bone almost. Torn the ligaments and whatnot in my ankle twice, and once in the other one. Broke some ribs.
Handlebars.
My handlebars. Got a handlebar in my hip and split my shin open.
And what is your goal for 2017? The rest of 2017?
Put this video out, kill the game.
All right. Peace out.
You were so
Hopefully
good.
it works.